the Adahi Etano program. May the magic of the season follow you into the new year. Cars Plus, reminding you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads up, Guam. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurants, always open, always local, and serving up favorites for over 40 years.
Now on Primetime, island lawmakers head into session and pass a bill to pay out local war claims. Plus, the cockfighting ban is officially in effect on Guam. And an early gift for Mataloop, as Christmas Eve has been declared a GovGuam holiday.
Good evening, I'm Adriana Cotero. The federal ban on cockfighting is officially in effect on Guam, and according to the Animal Wellness Foundation and Animal Wellness Action Groups, they will have investigators on ground to keep the community in check.
At the Dededo Game Club, a vendor was packing up and moving out as the federal ban on cockfighting became official today. The family that owns the property says they will be looking at their options of what to do with the land, whether it be sold or leased for residential or commercial purposes. For now, though, there's no doubt cockfighting has ceased. The AWA and AWF will be watching out for illegal cockfighting and asking the community to join them. As reported, the organizations recently announced a program offering a $2,500 reward for any individual who provides critical information that results in a successful federal prosecution of anyone found illegally cockfighting. As for cockfighters, there's no rush to get rid of your birds. According to the Department of Agriculture, there's nothing unlawful about owning broodfowl or poultry previously used in cockfighting. As for medications that are used for fighting birds, public health is responsible for the licensing of controlled drugs, but they do not have the resources for their disposal. According to the Department of Agriculture, the Drug Enforcement Agency, or DEA, has a take-back program that accepts legally obtained pharmaceuticals and Schedule 2 through 5 controlled drugs. The DEA office in Hagåtña announces those collection days in April and October, or the drugs can be turned in year-round during normal business hours at the U.S. Naval Hospital Pharmacy in Hagåtña Heights. Meanwhile, for those found violating the cockfighting ban, you could face 5 years in prison.
The focus turns to the Senate now that the House of Representatives has impeached President Trump. Senators will hold a trial to decide if the president will be removed from office, an unlikely scenario given the makeup of the Senate. But for now, the process is at an impasse as Congress goes home for the holidays. CBS News correspondent Skylar Henry breaks down what's next from Capitol Hill.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell met with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer Thursday afternoon, trying to reach an agreement on how a Senate trial will proceed after the House impeached President Trump.
As of today, however, we remain at an impasse.
Democratic and Republican senators differ on how the trial should be conducted. Republicans want it to be quick. Democrats want more witnesses and testimony.
McConnell has ranted and raved, but he hasn't had a single direct answer why there shouldn't be witnesses.
First, the Senate must get the 2 articles of impeachment from the House approved Wednesday night.
Article 2 is adopted.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has not made clear when that will happen.
The next thing for us will be when we see the process that is set forth in the Senate. Then we'll know the number of managers that we may have to go forward.
I admit, I'm not sure what leverage there is in refraining from sending us something we do not want.
The House voted along party lines to approve the articles of impeachment. Every Republican voted no. All Democrats voted yes, except 4. One of them is New Jersey Democrat Jeff Van Drew.
Jeff will be joining the Republican Party.
He met with President Trump Thursday in the Oval Office.
Ronald Reagan, and when he said, I didn't leave my party,
right,
my party left me.
That's true, that's what he said.
And I'm saying the same thing.
He was a Democrat and he moved over.
President Trump personally wooed Van Drew before the vote. He's facing a tough re-election fight in a district the president won in 2016.
The Senate trial had been expected to start in early January, but the timeline may not be clear until the House delivers the articles. This evening, the president tweeted, "I want an immediate trial." Governor Lou Leon Guerrero and Lieutenant Governor Josh Norio are giving an early gift to GovGuam employees. They announced that GovGuam employees will not only get Christmas Eve off, they're also moving up payday from next Friday to Christmas Eve as well. The decision was made to show their token of appreciation for their hard work. President Trump has also declared Christmas Eve a federal holiday. And pleading guilty in one case and not guilty in another, 27-year-old defendant Ricky Camp appeared for back-to-back hearings in Superior Court. Camp entered a plea agreement for a September 2019 incident and pled guilty to driving while impaired as a misdemeanor and reckless driving as a petty misdemeanor. His license has been suspended for 30 days, and he was ordered to complete 75 hours of community service and pay a $500 fine. And it was just the day before that hearing when Camp appeared for his arraignment in a separate offense. Camp was indicted last month for the importation of a Schedule II controlled substance as a first-degree felony, possession of a Schedule II controlled substance with intent to deliver as a first-degree felony, and possession of Schedule II controlled substance as a third-degree felony. Before Judge Jonathan KUAM, the defendant pled not guilty and waived his rights to a speedy trial. His next court hearing for the drug offense was scheduled for January 8th. This involves two large, sophisticated corporations. That's what Loti duty-free attorney Cesar Cabot said during today's motion hearing on the reconsideration of the court's decision. The court is now considering how it will move the case forward in the long-standing dispute over the vendor at Guam's airport. At the last hearing, Lotte argued for a stay in the proceedings pending the outcome of the airport's appeal of Judge Arthur Barcenas' decision to void the $140 million contract that was ultimately denied by the court. And today in court, Judge Arthur Barcenas heard from both parties and will take the motion for reconsideration under advisement. Senator James Moylan just wrapped up his 5th Community Forum on Public Safety. As Jason Solis reports, he's hitting the streets to hear from the public while his bills languish in the legislature.
So I'm taking action. I'm listening, and I'm taking action, and I'm doing something with it.
With no action in the legislature, Senator James Moylan is taking matters into his own hands, holding public forums throughout Guam on bills relative to public safety that he's introduced but hasn't had a public hearing. Some of the measures date back to April of this year, such as legislation related to sentencing for criminal sexual conduct and robbery, bills like funding to create and maintain village police kobans, establishing penalties for aggravated arson, legislation related to chemical castration, authorizing the Guam police to recruit volunteers to help enforce accessible parking and littering laws. With more than a dozen sitting in the legislature, he's decided to take it to the streets and get feedback on his own.
Because the community is just, they're tired. Right, and they don't feel safe, and what we're seeing now in Dedido, the last, just on the same street, 2 incidences, and the same thing is happening in the other villages.
The senator's public safety forums follow town hall meetings held by Governor Leon Guerrero earlier this year.
I think the public still needs to be heard, and I did attend also the meetings with the governor. I was there as well, and I was trying to introduce my bills at the same time. And listening to the community helps me reevaluate what we submitted, and we may need to make some changes. But really what I'm doing is introducing bills for what the people are telling me for their public safety. I'm not sure if that's going to be done for the past meetings. I don't know. But my job as a senator for the people is to make changes to the law or introduce new laws to strengthen it so they feel safer.
What are you going to do when you gather all this input if nothing's being done on your bills currently?
That's where it's at. So, what more can we do? And I'm asking the community support, please contact your senators, right? So we have committee chairs, we have a process, the legislature process to go through. But sometimes that's how politics works, unfortunately, and I don't think that's fair. So we were all elected, and we each have a voice for the people, and so we should each be heard. These bills should be heard at a public hearing, if at least that, for the pros and the cons. If it makes it a step further, great. If it doesn't, no. But just don't let it just die and not get into a committee and get it heard before the public. And they're the ones who decide. They're the ones who should say, let's make this go forward or not. Not the ones in the back offices, but it's the people to decide.
Senator Moylan has had public safety forums in Jigo, Dedido, Pidi, Asan Maina, and Momong Totumaiti. He is scheduling another such hearing in the village of Agate.
A new version of legislation to pay out local war claims was passed, but as Sabrina Salas-Montanani reports, it was not unanimous.
With a 12-3 vote, the new version of Bill 181 was passed by senators Friday afternoon. The three lawmakers that voted no were Republican Senators James Moylan, Luis Muña, and Mary Torres. The new version was only made public the day lawmakers brought it to the floor this session and added to the agenda with no discussion and no debate. The new version of Bill 181 removes the $7.5 million cap to pay out local war claims, and instead payments will go to all living survivors that have been or will be adjudicated by the Foreign Claims Settlement Commission by the date of the enactment of the bill into law. Just before session adjourned, senators reflected on the past year and what appeared to be the rush to pass the new version of Bill 181. Senator Torres' mother is the survivor of the Japanese occupation of Guam during World War II. She was 12 years old at the time.
Bill 181 appears to come with all promise and no contingency. It should be our duty to deliberate and to ask questions. For example, what are the contingencies and possible consequences of paying out the war claims today using local government money funds? There are many issues with this bill, Madam Speaker, beginning with the lifting of the local fund cap, and so many questions about how this claim against the federal government is going to be administered locally. What will happen to the funds, for example, that are already held by the federal government? Why are some of us not entitled to get the information? I don't feel entitled.
Senator Tello Taitigui was the lawmaker who objected to adding the new version of Bill 181 to session agenda. She asked, has the quality of life gotten better on Guam? Are people safer? Are GovGuam employees happy with their health care coverage? Whether roads are repaired? And has GovGuam made cuts as promised?
I pray that as we as a body will work hard in the weeks and months ahead to restore public trust in this 35th Guam legislature, and not to repeat what happened these past few days where transparency was not adhered to. As we begin a new year, a fresh start, let us learn from our mistakes. Let us be more proactive instead of reactive, and work on behalf of the people we serve with honesty, transparency, and respect.
Senator Sabina Perez voted in favor of Bill 181's passage, and although she said the war reparations are not true reparations because we are paying for it ourselves.
I would be remiss if I didn't feel we lost the opportunity to create a better bill. Had we had more opportunities for discussion, we might have been able to make the changes to the bill to create more accountability, to strike the balance in providing our Manamco the reparations they urgently need and deserve without potentially sacrificing governmental needs of all our people, like public safety and health care.
Following the passage of Bill 181, Governor Lulian Guerrero thanks senators for recognizing the importance of paying adjudicated war claims. She adds more than payment. This measure acknowledges the pains of the past and is symbolic of the peace in our present. Next, we will work quickly with the Department of Treasury to execute a memorandum of understanding and get our Manamco paid. As for H.R. 1365, there's no word on whether any action was taken before Congress was adjourned for the holidays today. Congressman Michelson Nicholas, however, posted on his Facebook page that we should have this passed and done at the federal level before the end of January. Congress is expected to return from their break on January 3rd. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Sabrina Salas, Matsunani.
In terms where the funding is coming to pay out the war claims, the Speaker's office says the sources is lapses from fiscal year 2019 and fiscal year 2020 budget subject to the governor's transfer authority. The amount to be paid is still unclear. The Speaker's office says they need to get the list of survivors that have been adjudicated to date. And the Office of Public Accountability has released a performance audit on the Guam Cancer Trust Fund. The report was part of their annual audit plan for 2019. The audit from fiscal year 2014 to fiscal year 2018 found inefficiencies, violations, and non-compliance with GCTF governing laws, program objectives, and lack of documentation. Specifically, lapse and inefficiencies in the management of revenues, apparent violations or flaws on payouts, and deficiencies in grant processes and compliance of terms of grants. These resulted in and ineffective management of revenues questionable GCTF awards and payouts and undetermined program results. Public Auditor B.J. Cruz stated the GCTF was intended to provide direct service and assistance to patients with cancer. It was not intended to provide employment to healthy, able-bodied individuals. Stick around for more news here on Primetime.
Get up-to-the-minute news, plus access to alerts, streaming radio, promotions, and more on your mobile device by downloading the KUAM News mobile app, available at the App Store now.
This holiday season, take a deal home at the Big Finish 2019, only at Cars Plus. Finish the year with the perfect gift under your Christmas tree. Take advantage of employee pricing on new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Visit us at carsplusguam.com.
The name Regalu, or gift in Chamorro, represents the generosity in the hearts of all Guamanians. More and more of our children are being removed from their homes due to child neglect, abuse, or other hardship. Let's give these kids the gift of a stable and loving home environment. Please support Igumemanaasi, which will soon open its doors to serve as an emergency foster care facility. Help us give our children a safe place to go.
Half the day, I'm in the club.
Half a day, welcome to Two Lovers Point.
Half a day, I'm in the club.
It's a special delivery to your inbox every week with your KUAM News Roundup, program advisories, and promotions. Sign up for the weekly KUAM Digital Digest today on KUAM.com.
On Wednesday morning, the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Washington officially decommissioned after 3 decades of service. Joan Augen-Charfris has more from Naval Base Guam.
U.S. Coast Guard cutter Washington is named after Washington Island, Wisconsin, located in Lake Michigan, and is the second cutter to bear the first president's name. After 30 years of conducting a variety of missions throughout the Marianas Islands and other portions of the Western Pacific Ocean and Philippine Sea, the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Washington was decommissioned. Rear Admiral Kevin Lundy, commander of the 14th Coast Guard District, spoke before crew, their families, and island dignitaries.
The decommissioning of a Coast Guard cutter, of a warship, is a significant and momentous event in Coast Guard history, for it marks the end of active service of that cutter and all that she and the crews aboard her have done over the lifetime that cutter's been in service.
First launched in November 1989, the cutter Washington arrived on Guam in August of 2006, after being based in Honolulu, Hawaii for 17 years.
Search and rescue, countering illegal fishing, ensuring the safety, security, and stewardship of the maritime transportation system and the marine environment, combating drug transshipment and human trafficking. All of these are the missions that Washington has performed.
Commanding officer for the cutter Washington, Lieutenant Grant Rudder, spoke about one of their most recent missions in Palau.
That was Operation Kuru Kuru. We took a Palau and law enforcement officer and we allowed him to be the authority. We were the means, and we helped Palau execute and exercise their authority over their waters. And it was my 3rd time doing that with Palau. Lieutenant Rudder also shared the importance of partnerships with the government agencies on both Guam and CNMI. When I was XO on board, I went on joint boardings with Guam Police Department, trying to combine forces and, again, do the best we can for the people of Guam to provide results. And up in CNMI, same thing with DPS. We work side by side, and we're often searching days, coordinating, searching for people, trying to save lives. With the Washington officially decommissioned, both had this to say.
This amazing ship behind me, which has served the Coast Guard ably for 30 years, is not a Coast Guard cutter because we paint it white and put a stripe on it and fly a commissioning pennant. It is a Coast Guard cutter because we breathe life into this ship with this crew of the Washington that you see here.
I used to be the XO 2013 to 15. I loved Guam, I loved the people, I loved the ship, and that's why I came back. So it's sad to be the CO that ends her career, but she had a good one, she did work, she made a difference. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Joan Augen-Charfris.
Star Mariana's Air has an additional flight taking off from Guam to Rota. Starting on December 24th until January 2nd, there will be a double in the amount of passenger seats available. The additional aircraft will follow the same daily schedule of departing Guam at 1:00 p.m. and arriving in Rota at 1:30 p.m. According to Star Mariana's Air President Sean Christian, they have been operating out of Guam for 7 years, offering regular scheduled flights daily.
We've established the company really to try our best to provide reliable, sustainable, safe, and affordable inter-island transportation. And we're Tinian-based air carrier, CNMI-based air carrier, and we are doing our absolute best we can to try to connect the islands and hopefully assist the economies in growing. Continue to look for ways to build market from Guam to Rota. One of the things that we've done is we've selected an aircraft size that exempts us from having to go through TSA screening, so it really makes the overall experience at the airport a little bit shorter than it would be if we had a larger aircraft on it. So we're hoping to stimulate some more demand and get some more people traveling inter-island and enjoying the beauty of all of the Mariana Islands.
Star Mariana's Air on Guam is based out of the light aircraft commuter facility located in between the United Airlines ticketing office and the main terminal. Tickets can be purchased online at starmarianasair.com. The Guam Regional Transit Authority is planning to roll out plans to take over the operations of paratransit in the new year. GRTA Executive Manager Selva Balta says the move will bring savings to the agency.
We're taking over for really at least two very important reasons. One, we'll be able to provide more service. The others, we're going to be saving the government of Guam about $300,000. We're currently paying them $52 an hour. When we take over, and with $52 an hour, we provide them the bus, provide them the fuel, provide them the oil, provide them the tires. And we're paying them $52 an hour. When we take over, we're paying our drivers approximately $20 an hour, salaries and benefits.
This morning, a total of 21 participants successfully completed its second ship repair transportation boot camp. The Guam Community College program is in partnership with the Cabras Marine Corporation and the Guam Department of Labor. All 21 have been picked up by Cabras Marine as apprentices. Under the apprenticeship program, they will work during the day and continue fulfilling their education requirements with GCC after working hours. The boot camp is a 100% federally funded program from the Carl D. Perkins Career and Technical Education Grant. It is intended to provide opportunities for non-traditional unemployed and underemployed individuals to enter high-skilled employment fields by providing them with the highest quality student-centered education and job training for those specific jobs. And what was supposed to be lunch with a cop turned into an invite for the officers to attend the Benavente Middle School Holiday Carnival. KUAM stops by to capture the fun.
Getting involved with the students and trying to be a positive impact in their life, and make them have them make good positive decisions. And I think our presence here, goes a long way with that.
In part of their community outreach, the Guam Police Department attended Benavente Middle School students' annual holiday carnival. Chief Stephen Ignacio says the outreach began nearly 3 years ago. However, visiting the public schools is something the department has actively participated in for years.
In my experience with the Guam Police Department over the past 32 years, we've done many of these things. It just they didn't really call it community outreach or anything. It's just something that we get invited to by the schools year in and year out.
Right before breaking for the holidays, these students spent the afternoon outside in the courtyard playing games, face painting, and winning prizes. Guam Department of Education Superintendent John Fernandez says having the officers on the grounds is something they have always encouraged.
This is just an opportunity for the kids to meet the police chief, meet the superintendent, meet our police officers who are here in their area. Do it when there's not something going on, but do it in a more proactive and fun manner.
Fernandez says they are looking forward to more opportunities to have not only GPD officers, but also the Guam Fire Department, National Guard, and others to come interact with the students to set examples and become role models for Guam's youth.
I think it's an honor when the children reach out to you and they want to invite you, and even it's just a friendly game of basketball. But it goes a long way again to what we do again to become more positive in the community.
This is a start, and I hope we see more of it in the future.
This Christmas, KUAM and ITNE are giving away the item on everyone's wish list, the iPhone 11. Whether you've been naughty or nice, check out KUAM, I-94, and Uno on Instagram to see how you could win. Happy holidays from KUAM and ITNE.
Matson is in this community. We've been in this community for decades. We're going to be in this community for decades to come. Things will get busy, things will get quiet, but we're going to be here. We're your hometown carrier. And that matters to us.
Reliability is the core of our business. We take pride in ensuring that we arrive in Guam on time as scheduled.
It's our local employees who understand the market, who understand the business, and provide that hard work for you each and every day.
When we hold ourselves to high standards, our customers also hold us to high standards. We establish good business relationships that turn into friendships. That's why it's so important to be here and be trusted by your customers. We want you to trust Matson like your friend, like your family.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Hey, this week's Darentone Athlete of the Week, Gerald Martinez, local powerlifter. Man, first time competing in Las Vegas at the Winter Open. Let's talk about how far out did you know that you're going to do the show and preparations?
So I decided back in June. So my coach, Chris Duenas, he was one of the first batches to go with the powerlifting groups back in like 2017. So we decided we were going to go to Hawaii, but under circumstances, I switched it to Vegas, and I was killing two birds with one stone because my mom resides out there, so I thought I'd go do my comp and then have her there to see it too.
Well, first competition, came home with a couple of medals, and placing first in the juniors division, your squat, your deadlift, and your bench.
Mm-hmm. So in the meet, I actually hit a 440.9 for my last attempt, and that was actually pretty close to my gym PR, which is a 445. So.
And that was your squat?
Yeah.
Okay. Bench?
I hit 253.5, so bench PR in the gym is a 265, so that's pretty close.
And your squat was, your deadlift was pretty good, 507?
Mm-hmm. So actually deadlift is a funny story. I was going for a 1200 total, which I hit. So after my deadlift opener, we weren't even supposed to hit 507. That was supposed to be my third attempt, but I made the call to just do a second attempt to get it out of the way. So I went 8 for 9 because my last attempt, it was just we were just gonna go for it, try a new number. So it was actually 512 that I didn't get, since we hit the 1200 total on my second attempt. So.
Okay, so now with the success out in Las Vegas, where do you go now as far as competitions in the near future?
So right now I'm enjoying an off season. I've been on prep since we've started with Chris back in 2018. So I'm just enjoying an off season, trying to build, get stronger, and then we're trying to look at another one in December.
Instagram, how can they find you?
Instagram is Gerald FMJ, so Gerald FMJ.
And donation, who you want to donate your check to?
We'll do the Special Olympics. Yeah.
The Guam Department of Education held a press conference at their headquarters in Teeson yesterday to launch the Interscholastic Sports Association. The logo from the GDOE League was unveiled in front of students and faculty from the various public high schools. ESA will kick off with third quarter sports. Athletes will be competing in boys and girls rugby, girls softball, tennis, and boys basketball.
Yeah, our short-term goal with ESA really is to make sure that there's a smooth transition. Third and fourth quarter sports, we want to make sure go off without a hitch. So we're working really hard on that. But the long-term goals are bigger. We want to make sure that we're looking at the sports program for our public high schools, but for all our schools, in terms of what our student athletes are going to get out of this by participating. We're talking about what happens after graduation. Will the sports program be contributing to their success in college, in international competition, representing our island on the world stage? So it's about taking a broader look, a more comprehensive look at what our strategy is to ensure that our sports program is not just about the day-to-day competitions, but but about looking at the long-term goals and objectives for each of our student athletes.
In GDOE boys middle school soccer, Ocean View's undefeated streak came to an end in the team's last game of the season. Jose Rios handed the Knights their only loss, 3-1. Ocean View finished the school year with a 13-1 record. Gapbo Tapasnia scored the lone goal for the Knights. Hats off to goalkeeper Michael Jesus. Ocean View was led by coaches Doreen Rivera and Maria Rivera. Congratulations on a successful soccer season.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
The Holiday Pledge is definitely like an extension of the Holiday spirit, which is all about family. It doesn't matter where you're from or who you are. I wear this uniform. I'm definitely proud of my job and what we do. I not only live it in the uniform, but outside of the uniform as well. It's definitely a way of life. I live the Holiday Pledge every day of my life.
And now for the week leading up to Christmas, we're showing you a special way that you can score some really cool tech, get the perfect present and place under the tree, and save some money. It's The Guide.
The Guide is presented to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together.
Happy Day and happy holidays, everybody. I'm Jason Stiles with KUAM alongside my good friend Aaliyah Paulino, and we are at Docomo Pacific. And Aaliyah, you and your colleagues here are teaching people that not only can they pick up amazing hardware that's capable of doing anything on the internet and any sort of telecommunications, and they can access it through this incredibly fast LTE network, but you're also teaching them how to save a lot of money for themselves and for their loved ones.
Oh yes, we are. For our Red Family promo right now, we do have our Now Family plans. So meaning the first line you pay full price for, second and third we can get $200 off the price of the phone.
Okay, now I happen to be one, I'm very, very particular with my tech. Like, look at that. Look at those cameras on the iPhone 11, right? I may want an iPhone, my mom may want an Android phone, my cousin may want something else. Do I have to stay all with one particular line of phone, or can I mix and match?
Oh no, we can mix and match here.
Any phone in your inventory?
Any phone under our Now Family plan, yes.
That's incredible.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and how much money do I save again if I do this?
For the second and third line, it's $200 each, so a total of $400.
Okay, so you are really gonna make somebody's Christmas. Santa Claus himself could not have come up with such an ingenious marketing plan. That is amazing. So you get cost savings, you get some really, really cool hardware. You actually get 3 of them. You're gonna make not only yourself a really good Christmas, but also 2 other people. So happy holidays to you and your family and all of your colleagues at Docomo, and thank you for giving us this Christmas gift. This is amazing.
Thank you.
All right, that's The Guide here at Docomo Pacific. Happy holidays, everybody.
The Guide is presented to you by Docomo Pacific, Better Together.
And before we close up the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
On this December 20th, we say happy birthday to tonight's birthday celebrants, and happy first birthday to Kalua St. Augustine. The entire family says happy birthday to our precious girl. All of the family, all of them. And happy belated birthday wishes to my Rika Guerrero. Happy birthday number 25. We love you. Say Mom Myra, Dad Rick, and Bro Noah. Have an awesome and blessed birthday. We hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful Friday birthday.
You can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birthday. And now here's this week's winner of a Cold Stone Creamery ice cream cake, Sean Paris, who celebrated a birthday on Thursday. Congrats. We will be in touch so you can pick up your gift. That's going to do it for us here on the news desk, but stay tuned. Jason is next with Extra.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Green Energy Solutions, Inc. Visit GESIGuam.com or call 647-8111 for more details on how we can help your business save money.
Hafa Day, everybody, and happy holidays. I'm Jason Salas, and this is your end of week